you got to put the pressure on all of them. I mean, the pressure is pressure. And you got it, and the way that's done is you get voters, because they're gonna all have coffee hours. They're gonna have families now, cokers are now, families on my street knocking on doors. You're gonna have people say when that guy comes, like down in Ward 1, you got Aikens, you got that young girl running, knocking on the door. Hey, what's your position on the track? We've already spent money. What do you want to do?
We're going to do that on all candidates' nights.
Yeah.
On all candidates' nights that I can attend, I'm going to ask environmental questions, particularly of the track. I will ask particularly in all of those areas that there is a ward race, or if there is anyone running for councillor at large, which forces them all to appear. I hope someone announces for councillor at large. If that's the case, at all the candidates' nights, I will be asking questions about the track and other environmental.
I'm going to give you this question. I think this is I think it's a tough question. It's a very good, because I'm going to ask everybody that comes on this show this question. Everybody that comes on this show this question. We're in a severe financial crisis now. Taxes have been raised unbelievably. The library and the school have taken hits. The school has taken big hits. And he finagled around with that stimulus money there. And I think there was a little story in a ledger or somewhere today in one of the blogs about that. You know, they took big hits they shouldn't have taken. But I would, particularly the two mayor can't, but the city council can't in the city. This recession isn't going to last forever. It's going to end. Now, eventually, funds are going to come back into the city coffers. So the question is, when them funds come back, when the revenues come up and they come back, what are you going to do in your position, Mr. Mayor, or Mr. City Councilor, or the mayor, because he's the one who sets the budget? Are you going to restore positions that were lost, or are you going to use that money to cut the taxes? Because if the positions are lost for a period of time, and the school community have a hard time doing it because they lost a lot of positions there. You know, it shows that the organization can function maybe at that reduced level. Does that mean you just refill it up, or do you use that excess money to cut the taxes, which have gone up extremely high? You know, and I think that's I don't know if that's an easy, I don't even know what the answer is to that. It all depends on how things change. But because they do this all the time, because now they raise the tax rate, that becomes a new base. You know, we had this base before. Now this is a new base now. You know, so everything's hinged on this new base. And you got a fire department that's in down a lot of guys, and they go and they hire 5 firefighters 2 weeks before they lay off 5. And that's all politics, because that was done to protect somebody. And they ended up laying off senior firefighters because they weren't veterans. You got a police department that's down 11 guys, and you haven't filled their positions. You're hoping for stimulus money to come in that you can't get because you don't have any layoffs there. You reduce a drug unit. But you got to ask, if they function at that level and the city isn't overrun with crime or there's not a lot of disasters, are you going to fill them positions back up right away with that, or are you going to try to lessen the tax burden on the citizens of Quincy? That's the question I'd ask at every meeting.
Well, I guess I'll take a first shot at that one. My own opinion on taxes is this. I don't mind paying extra taxes if we're getting the same amount of services. I mean, inflation is inflation.
You want taxes, want taxes being used the right way.
But and this is just my opinion, what I'm seeing is the fact that my tax bill went up $1,100, $1,200 this year, and you know, I have to go in front of the school committee and ask the school committee to save my son's Spanish teacher. You know, so I'm spending more money, and I'm not getting what I was getting. You know.
See, what happens in this is that whenever there's a problem, they cut. They always go to the lowest level, or they go to the position that obviously shouldn't be cut, but they go there to reinforce the fact that we need more money because you're going to lose police, fire, teachers, whatever, nurses, whatever it is. So they always go to the people that are down there where the rubber meets the road doing the work. And the school committee is a perfect example. They have a lot of administrators in that school committee. I think they're overloaded with administrators. None of them got laid off. The teachers got laid off. They could have used someone. They could have laid off some of the people that are administrative assistants. I mean, there's people there that aren't needed. They didn't do that. but they laid off teachers. It's the same thing. Whenever a politician, and I don't care ones I like or dislike, Democrats, Republicans, you know they're going to be serious about a budget crisis when you see the people that have patronage jobs lose. I mean, you know, nobody in the state that I know that's working at Mass Highway or the Turnpike Authority, all these other make-work type of companies, jobs in there, have lost their jobs. But they'll lay off the guy or the lady or the kid that's actually doing the physical work, like your Spanish teacher. And there's some administrator probably floating around making a ton of money.
This is off the topic of the track, but you know, I mean, in my opinion, those cuts were needless. I mean, you know, for months, as far as that $300 GIC payoff or whatever you want to call it, he didn't fund that. You know, so that's an extra $500,000 out of the school budget. And the schools, I'm personally involved with the schools. You know, my son's in AP up in Central, and so it hits home when you start thinking about what the kids are losing. And you got that $300. Now they've been bragging for months that it's $5 million in savings. Coke comes out with a banner or whatever you want in the Sun that says now it's $10 million.
Yeah.
If you're saving $10 million, okay, why can't you give back to the schools that $500,000 that it's going to cost paying the GIC $300 bonuses?
The other thing they should have given, we're running over here, but the one thing you should have given back was the money the teachers got fined for going on strike. That was $100,000. That should have went to the schools,
And the
not there.
Comcast money. I mean,
You know,
Comcast money they didn't see either.
well, I think the taxes are a big issue. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this show. And as you all know, so there's no, just, you know, I favor one candidate for mayor over the other. I don't dislike anybody, just politics. It's politics, positions that I favor. Sometimes my positions are might say a little strange, but I favor the person that supports the positions I take. And I don't like to see people, you know, I can't use some of these words on TV, but I don't like to see people conned. And I think, you know, some of this is like a big con job. But I had to go get a part-time job again because I lost my part-time job. I got to work. But if I was a young person, over at the Career Center, the MBTA is hiring part-time bus drivers, train operators, streetcar operators, and full-time track laborers. So if you're looking for a job, August 14th at the Career Center at 12:30. That's not bad. The job's there. You and I are too old for this stuff, though. But that's not bad. But
He said it. I didn't.
I hope you enjoyed this show. Any complaints or comments, you can email me at my address. I've actually started to get some emails. If you have any questions you want me to ask, or you have anybody you think I should have on the show, and I know Jim, my good friend Jim Timmons wanted to come back on. You haven't called me yet. You said you're going to call me. You're welcome to come on. And you just bring the facts, though. We're not going to deal in make-believe. I just want to know facts. I just go by 1 and 1 is 2. I don't make 1 and 1 3. So we have another show tomorrow night. We'll have a busy couple of months coming up to the election. I can't believe the Red Sox lost last night. Did you watch that game?
No, I went
2
right to
hours
bed.
by.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot. And my good friend Peter, thank you very much for helping me do this show. I couldn't do it without you. And we'll see you tomorrow.